Everyone's been telling you to say no and set boundaries. And listen, girl, I'm here for a good boundary too, especially a healthy boundary. But no one's really asking you if you're saying no, then what are you saying yes to? Because your life isn't just shaped by the things that you say no to, it's also shaped to what you're saying yes to. And in today's video, that's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about the difference between the two, what your yes is actually building, and how to start getting honest about, is your yes really aligned to the way that you want to work and live and redesign your life? So, I just want to let you know I have been feeling under the weather. So if I sound a little bit stuffy or if I'm moving a little bit slow, that is why. I am just getting off of a cold, which is also I'm glad I manage my energy and do the things that I do the way that I do the things that I do, because the two videos that I filmed on the beach, I filmed them several days in advance. So I was able to really rest and take care of myself. So I might be moving just a little bit slow today, but we're really going to get into the nooks and crannies of this saying no, setting boundaries, and what you're really tying your yes to. And like I said before, a lot of women now, we are in the season for the last several years of women setting boundaries and saying no. And all of that is very important. We need that. We definitely need that. But what happens after you say no? What are you actually saying yes to? What are you actually making space for? Because your life is not just shaped by the things that you say no to. It's also shaped by your yes and what your yes is actually building in your life. So when you're saying yes, you need to think about, how is your yes tied to your time? Because we know time is one of the resources we can never get back. So if you're saying no to one thing, what is your yes saying? What is your yes saying in relation to your time? What is your yes saying to in relationship to your energy and your capacity? What is your yes? What are you giving your yes to, or what is your yes being tied to in regards to your attention, to your environment? All of those things, we need to pay attention to what we're saying yes to. You need to ask yourself, what are you constantly saying yes to? Sometimes without even realizing it, because again, we've gotten in a space of where are being thrown all over the place. And again, I get it. I'm here for a healthy boundary too. You hear me? But in that no, we are also saying yes to something. So we have to understand what that means. So I'm going to share two quick examples. So back in my healthcare leadership days, I've talked about my time, that season in my life, my career burnout, all of the things. But back in that time, especially when I was starting to feel the burnout kicking in and I knew some things had to change. Again, I really didn't have a lot of language for it at that time back in 2022, but I was very aware that something was going to have to give. So one of the things that I had started doing, in healthcare leadership, I was leading a facility that was open 7 days a week. And I've shared this before. So even when I was not at the office, I was still working. And that's a part that led to my burnout, the blurred lines, all of that thing. But one of the things that I had started doing was I was going to leave the office by 4:30 every day. And because I will always get there so early in the morning, I wanted to just listen, Erica, you have to be out of the door every day by 4:30. And of course, I had some flexibility if something went wrong, if someone needed me, my support. But the goal was to be out of there at 4:30 every day. So that was my boundary. That was my no. But I would then go home and wind down with, like drinking glasses of wine. Like I was in a season where I was so burnt out and just looking for some form of relief that I had become a wine girl. You hear me? So I was going home to say yes to this wine. So although I was setting a boundary around the work, I was still coming home to say yes to the wine that ultimately did not make me feel any better. I mean, I guess it made me feel a little bit more relaxed for the time being, but ultimately it didn't make me feel any better. I don't drink now. I haven't drank for 3 years, and not because I'm holier than thou or I have anything against alcohol. It's just in my season of transformation and growth and development and getting clear on how I want to work and live and redesigning my life and just being very intentional about every single thing that I do. I just did not like the way that alcohol was making me feel in my body. Like even when I would just and I've gone through several stages. I would be like, okay, I'm not going to drink during the week. I'll just drink on the weekend, or I'll just drink socially, but I just did, even wine, I just did not like the way the wine was making me feel. So I just cut out alcohol altogether. And it's one of the best decisions that I've ever made in my life. Again, just the clarity, the intentionality behind it, like all of the things. So again, the example, yes, I set a boundary around work, but then my yes was tied to something that still wasn't meeting my needs. And I think sometimes we're not clear on if we're saying no to one thing, what is our yes? What is our yes being tied to? I have multiple examples of where I can share, like fast forward to now, that I'm still navigating a traditional 9 to 5 while I am building my business. I'm showing up here on YouTube every single day for these 100 days. I'm working with clients, like I'm doing a lot of things. So yes, I have boundaries around like my 9 to 5, different things that I'll take on, different things that I won't take on. But when I'm giving my yes to something, it is very intentional. Every single thing. And again, I'm not in a season of where I'm just so rigid and structured. I'm definitely moving in a state of flow. But even in that flow, my yeses are still very intentional and very in alignment for the way that I ultimately want to work and live in my whole entire life holistically. So we just have to be careful about saying yes to the wrong things, even when we have boundaries in place. And again, I just don't think that that's spoken about a lot, or at least I don't hear it a lot. Which is why I wanted to have this conversation today, because I'm just now in a season where, and I have been for the last 4 years as I'm redesigning my life, where my yes is really aligned with my health, my wellness and my well-being, my creativity, my easeful ambition, the way that I'm still moving towards my goals, my vision, the way that I want to live my life, but doing it in a more easeful way. I did not say easy. I said easeful, because when you're building, when you're growing, when you're creating, it does require effort. But I'm no longer in a season where I'm trying to force anything, where I'm trying to hustle through anything, where I'm trying to push through anything. So that's why I use the term easeful ambition. My yes is tied to the actual vision that I have for my life. Period and stop. So I just want to, bring some awareness to, you can say no all day long, but if your yes is still tied to the wrong things, or just tied to the things that are not in alignment with the way you want to work and live, your yes is not intentional, you're still going to be feeling off. You're still going to be in that state of disconnection from yourself, from your life. It's still not going to move you towards the life that you desire, to the way that you want to work and live. And again, I'm not here to say don't have boundaries, because girl, I have boundaries too. Healthy boundaries, of course. I just really want you to understand, especially for women like you who identify as being driven, who identify as being ambitious, capable, responsible, all of the things. I just want you to understand that your boundaries create the space, your no creates the space, but your yes decides what that space will feel. So just being mindful of that when you're saying no to something, you're also saying yes to something. And what is that yes tied to? So the real question isn't just what you're saying no to, like I've said before. It's, excuse me. Sorry, I had a coughing spell, so I cut that part out. So like I was saying, so the real question isn't really what you're saying no to. It's really understanding what you're constantly saying yes to and what your yes is actually being tied to. Is it being tied to things, to tasks, to projects, to the way you use your time, your energy, your capacity? Are those things being tied to moving you towards the vision you have for yourself and the way you ultimately want to work and live? And that's where the real shift happens, not just in what you remove, but in what you choose. And if this is something that you've been thinking about more, oh my goodness, that truck is so loud out there. I hope you can't hear that. That almost startled me. But so yeah, it's not just about what you say no to, but actually what you choose. And it's something that I've been thinking about, even more. And I share more about these types of things on my email list, the Easeful Ambition Collective. If you're interested in that, it's where I just talk a little bit more deeper about things like this, away from the general public. If that's something you're interested in, I've linked it down in the description box. So just start paying attention to where your yes is going, because that's where your life is actually going to be built upon. Yes, the no's are good. Yes, the boundaries are good. But what you're saying yes to, that's going to be the building blocks for your life. And especially if you're in a season of where you're trying to be very intentional about the way that you want to work and live. And again, that's what I'm talking about on this 100-day journey and beyond. Just how we redesign our lives as corporate professionals, as professional women, as ambitious women, redesigning our lives in a way that feels good to us. Intentional living, creative living, easeful ambition, reworking our relationships with which requires, in order to have easeful ambition, live in a flow of easeful ambition, be living creatively and intentionally, you have to be able to rework your relationship with ambition, capacity, rest, and creativity. And I say rework because the way we've been taught just isn't conducive to the way that I want to live. And I know a lot of other women can resonate with that. I know you probably can resonate with that. That's why you watch these videos. So that's what I'm going to be talking about on this channel. Just lifestyle, life design, redesign for us as corporate professionals, me going into entrepreneurship and contract work, just professional women who are ambitious and driven, but we're no longer willing to chase, live, build at any cost. Those are the things I'm going to be talking about, continuing to move forward as we get to the end of this 100-day journey. I have linked in the description box the conversations that I've been having over the last 100 days, I'm still like not feeling so good. So my brain is a little, so I've linked that down in the description box. Also, I wanted to share, having my notes, I will be going live on day 100, which falls on Sunday, May 17th. So we're really getting down to this 100-day journey. Today's video is day 88. So I just wanted to let you know I will be going live on day 100. Again, that falls on Sunday, May 17th. 2026. So just stay tuned. What else? Oh, I'm looking at myself here in the camera. Can we get into this cute top? This is definitely not an ad, but I just wanted to share this top. Like, it is so cute. It's from Quince, and I shared about this on my 100-day journey too, because it used to be a big part of my life. I was a style blogger for 4 years, so I got to work with a lot of brands and do a lot of cool things. And late last year, I would say, going into earlier this year, I got rid of my dream closet. I had turned my second bedroom into a beautiful, my dream closet. And I got rid of like 90% of everything just because that was like no longer my life. I had lost all of that weight after my burnout, so I couldn't fit a lot of things. And I just wanted to develop a more easeful wardrobe, more intentional wardrobe. So I just started rebuilding and really focusing on cotton, 100% cotton linen. This top is linen. Denim, like sustainable fabrics, but still being cute and classic and timeless. So Quince is one of the places that I shop. Not Quince, if you want to sponsor me, girls, send me a check. But that kind of still ties into this video because I said no to constantly spending. I said no to fabrics that were unhealthy. If you only knew some of the stuff that we wear on our bodies are made out of, I'm not even going to go into that, but I said no to that. And I said yes to a more intentional wardrobe, a more easeful wardrobe. Again, that is in alignment with the way that I want to work and live. But I don't got off on a tangent. So let me know what part of this video resonated with you. Give this video a like. I know I have a lot of new subscribers here, so if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe for me. It's free, girl, so just hit subscribe. And I'm Erica Prevail. I'm sharing daily conversations on this 100-day journey, helping ambitious women rework their relationship with ambition, capacity, rest, and creativity to redesign their lives to the way they actually want to work and live. And I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye.